All right. We had some technical difficulties tonight. Normally we like to get started about 15 minutes earlier. And you know how it goes. You turn the computer on and everything, for whatever reason, decides to quit working. So who knows why it does that. I've always been curious why computer codes and stuff just randomly stop working. Like, you know, I don't understand how that stuff breaks down over time. So if you are joining in and seeing, I am just working on a tapestry blanket right now. I'm in the beginning rounds, so I have large spaces of white. I'm working on a blanket with a green border, a white background, and it will have the video game character Yoshi in it from Mario, and I'm making a blanket for a boy. So it'll have his name on it as well. So that's what I'm working on now, but starting Friday, May 1st at 6:30 Mountain Time, providing the computer is working, we will be working on a live tapestry that I am giving everybody the pattern to for free. So if you like to do tapestry work, hi Mr. Double, yes, I'm here, I'm sorry, I was having issues earlier. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy. So anyways, we're going to be doing a tapestry. I'm giving away the blanket. If you are on TikTok, you can go to my profile. There's a link in there that'll allow you to download the project pattern for free. Hey, Aaron, thanks for the likes. Let me show you a picture of the pattern here. So it's just a simple tapestry. This is not, there are some that are much simpler. So if you're a complete beginner, when I call this simple, I am not forgetting the fact that this could be advanced for some people. However, I kept it simple by using 5 colors, no more than 5 colors. Tried to minimize how many times we have to do color changes across the rows. And then also the row is only 80 stitches wide. Hi, Gigi. So with it only being 80 stitches wide and 110 rows tall, this thing is not going to be huge. For me, I will be using a regular weight 4 yarn. I will be working in a half double crochet, and I use a 4.25 millimeter hook. So I expect mine to be about 2.5 feet wide or so. And the instructions that you can download include the written and the graph version. Plus, when I am doing this live, so you can see here the graph version, while I'm doing this live, I will actually be saying out loud the number of stitches I'm doing and in what color. So for people who prefer to follow along in a video, you'll also have that benefit as well. If you are on YouTube, the pattern is available on YouTube also for free. Just go look over my posts and you'll see the links there. Hi, Zandra. Oh, Gigi, I'm good. Today was insane. We tried starting the live at 6:30 like we normally do, and just everything was disconnected all of a sudden. So I was saying earlier how frustrating it is when nothing has changed from the night before, and then all of a sudden the computer quits working. I'll never understand how that stuff happens. How are you doing? Zandra, we're, oh, Gigi, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. Xander, we're doing this. I'm working on a tapestry blanket right now. This is not this is a custom design that I made for a little boy. It's a Yoshi tapestry blanket, but we are doing a tapestry starting Friday, May 1st. That's going to be the intro live, and then I will be going live like I do now, weeknights at 6:30 Mountain Time, and we're going to be doing a tapestry here. I made a free pattern. Just go to my bio and you can grab the link to download it if you want to work on it with us. So we are, thank you, Gigi. You are so sweet. Oh, yay, writing is fun. You're here. Yes. Oh man, today's just been nuts. So I'll say it one last time. I think not anybody probably else matters or cares as much about this, but I really appreciate that you noticed I was gone. We turned on the computer and the video stuff wasn't working. So anyways, all right, so working on this row, I just got through the big chunk of white that's always so boring but soothing for my brain, and now I'm actually getting into colors. Gigi says, I'm good, glad I'm finally home. It's been a long week. Where were you? Where'd you go? Sandra says, even better, I haven't missed the start of it. Yes, so you've not missed the start of it. We are starting not next Friday, but the Friday after. And if you miss anything or prefer to always crochet along or something, YouTube saves copies of all my lives. So I stream simultaneously to YouTube and TikTok. That's why I read my comments out loud so that you guys know who I'm responding to. So I stream on both, and then TikTok or YouTube, excuse me, will save the copies of the lives. So you can always go in and catch up. Gigi was just working, very busy. Yes. I had kind of a weirdly, I don't know, it wasn't a super busy week, but it was stressful. Like the individual days were stressful. So I was really looking forward to the weekend. Okay, so let me pull up my pattern. I do have to pay attention for a second. Writing is Fun says, I downloaded TikTok to see if it was on YouTube or larger issue. Yeah, there might be a twister over in the cornland. I think there was. I know we got snow today. I was really excited about that. Sue, thank you. Sue Smiles, you're here. You are making a floral fantasia. I've seen it show up. Thank you for the like too. I'm excited to see you in here. You're making a floral fantasia, I feel like, in really similar colors to one that I made last summer. It might even be the same ones. And believe me, I ran across your video the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, like it was startlingly beautiful. So it was neat to see a firsthand view of what that felt like for other people to see when I post videos of them, because this pattern is gorgeous. I wish I wrote it. All right, so let me get started in on my next one. So I did my white, I have to do 16 black. Let me just pull this one over here real quick. I can't wait to actually start the tapestry that we're going to do together, the snake plant pattern. That I think is going to be so much fun. And for people who haven't done tapestry before, I've mentioned this a few times, I tried to design it so it's not overwhelming, but I also didn't want it to be so simple that it was boring. So again, for anybody just joining now, I designed a small tapestry throw. This is going to be small. And I'm probably going to design a few others so we can make a blanket out of it. But the pattern is available in my profile for free on TikTok, and in YouTube it's in my posts. Patterns in there, and I'm going to be doing this one live on starting May 1st, 6:30 in the evening. Sue says, yes, ask for the colors when you're making it. Okay, yes, those colors, when I first picked them too, I hated them. I loved them obviously in the store. I don't pick colors that I hate, but I loved them in the store, walked out of the store, and the sunlight shined down on them. And all of a sudden I called my best friend and I was like, please, what have I done? I don't know if I like these. And she's like, no, I think it's going to look really good. And I really didn't like the colors until maybe the 15th or 16th round. But that's also what's happening on the floral fantasia I'm making right now. I liked the colors, and then I started working up the pattern. I hated the colors again, and now I'm starting to like it again. I just think the pattern needs to get bigger. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Xandra, if you are still in here, 12. Have you done tapestry before? I know you sounds like you're probably going to be joining along. Have you done tapestry before? Be curious to know different people's skill level and expertise level. That way I know if there's extra things I need to, point out. So yesterday I was giving a lot of different tips about changing colors and how I do that and try to do it cleanly. And I will probably repeat myself a lot anyways during a live. But, okay, so you've attempted mosaic and not tapestry. I've never done mosaic. I mean, I started one before and I was like, okay, I get the gist of it. And I think I ended up getting distracted by a tapestry pattern. I need to get back into mosaic because it was also very cool. There's a gal on TikTok named Miles of Knots, and she made a really beautiful mosaic recently. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 13, 14, 15. Okay, so this is my 16th stitch for those of you who have not had a lot of experience with tapestry or none at all. I'm getting ready to switch my colors. So a tapestry blanket is a really simple concept. We're just making a flat blanket, but we're using color changes to make a design based off of a grid. And when you need to change a color, We want to change the colors neatly because let me finish this stitch. Let me show here. When I finish this stitch here, I've got 3 loops on my hook because I'm doing a half double crochet. So I start my stitch, yarn over, go through the stitch below, yarn under, grab up my loop. So now I've got my 3 loops on my hook. When I need to change colors, I don't want to finish my stitch. What happens is the loop that's on your hook right after you finish a stitch, this becomes the top part of the next stitch. And if I were not using black, of course, you would be able to see what I'm talking about more. But that loop that's left on your hook becomes the top part of the next stitch. So I don't want to finish this stitch in black if my next color is, ooh, Desert Glaze, yay, finally, we're getting into his shoes. If I finish this in black, what I'm gonna end up with is a black loop on top of my orange stitch. So I do have to do orange. So I've got to make a little ball of that. I've talked about this before. I keep all my little balls of yarn in these baskets that I get from the Dollar Tree. And keep these, this keeps my yarn in order, and then I just kind of move the balls from basket to basket and move the whole baskets as I flip my work. So, and I try not to work on full skeins of yarn except for when I know I have a very huge patch, like all this white, I've been working off of a skein. So I need to grab some of my Desert Glaze. This is the orange color, so it's going to be the shoes of Yoshi's, or the color of Yoshi's shoes. And I found this really cool trick. First of all, look how messy this cake of yarn is. I like to ball, if I have a leftover partial skein of yarn, I like to wind it, but then I feel like sometimes they just fall apart. I don't know if it's my winder or what. So, and one time I actually made little cakes of yarn when I was doing a tapestry. I worked off little cakes instead of balls, but for the most part, it's easier to not stop and cake up a bunch of yarn. So I'll be Writing is Fun says, this seems slightly more complicated than just snipping the yarn off. We're good. Well, yeah, I think you'll see once you get into a couple of these, it's really not going to be that hard. It's really the biggest part is managing all these balls of yarn. Oh, goodness, come on. All right, I want to make a decent sized ball of yarn because I feel like, so let me show you actually what I'm looking at too. I'm reading through the next few rounds or the next few rows that are coming up to see how many times I see the name of the yarn. So right now I'm balling up Desert Glaze, and in my next row I see Desert Glaze is in there twice, which means I'm going to have at least 2 balls of Desert Glaze. Let me go over here. So I see 2, 2, 3. Okay, so I now don't have to make a terribly huge ball of this color because his shoes are a small part of the blanket. And I know I'm going to be making at least 3 separate balls of this color because I don't like to carry the colors in back of my work. If you prefer to carry the colors in the back of your work, then you won't have to make this many balls of yarn. So I am slightly complicating this because I do like to have reversible work. There is some tapestries though that are just so oh, I can't think of the word all of a sudden. They have so many details, I guess. So many color changes. It would be impossible to use an individual ball of yarn for each color change. It would just be horrible. So, oh, and then this other cool trick I found, which this ball, come here, you thing. Come here, buddy. Another cool thing that I found from a TikTok was a trick of using these little like snappy barrettes. I grabbed them from the Dollar Tree, and then you just use it to secure your loose end when you've got an extra thing of yarn. So that has actually worked out really well. I saw that on TikTok. I ran out to the Dollar Tree and bought some of these. And then the next time I went to the Dollar Tree to get more, they were completely sold out. I've not been able to find them since. Writing is Fun says, do you listen to music? I do listen to music. I love music. When I was younger, I listened to nearly everything. I primarily listen to Christian music now, but if I listen to non-Christian music, my favorite genres are 90s alternative, because that's the age that I was a teenager. was in the 90s, so 90s alternative, and then like I don't even know what it's called, like the kind of music that I put on some of my crochet videos that has the really heavy beat and it goes wah wah wah, whatever that's called. I love that. I don't know why I like that music so much, but and then I like to I like to film my crochet and put it to that music. It's my favorite thing. So okay, I've got my little ball of orange here, and I need to do 7. So I'm going to add the orange into here. I'm going to finally finish the stitch I started talking about. So when I've got my last stitch of the last color, instead of finishing it all the way, I'm going to add in the next color. Now, if I were working with a color that's already right next to it, I would just pick up my yarn and keep working through, but I actually have to add a new color. So to add a new color, I like to give myself at least 7 inches of tail space here. For me right now, I'm working on the wrong side. You can tell because that's where all my strings are. So I'm going to run the string on the front of this work right now because the front or the wrong side is facing me. I also need to start weaving in my ends. And so I might work on that a little bit tonight too. I don't like to let my ends get too crazy out of control because I do want to weave all of these in. So typically what I'll do, I'll start at the bottom of my work and weave in my ends, and I'll usually leave the last couple of inches of my work, I will leave the ends on there specifically so that it's easy for me to tell what's the wrong side and the right side of my work, because that will be important later. Writing is fun says, thump to your own hook. I do. I thump to my own hook. I love that. Okay, so I have to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I worked at this company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got my 7th. I worked at this company a couple years ago before I started my own company, and I was working there, and I used to listen to that music all the time in the office. So I'm an accountant sitting in an office listening to, like, I don't know, trap music. I don't know what it's even called. I mean, they've given it different names over the years. So, but listening to that stuff, and I've definitely had other professionals come in and say, this is really interesting. I wouldn't have picked this kind of music for you. All right, so I did my 7th. My next color is black 15. So, okay, so I have to do 15 black. Now, when I'm looking at my work, I don't have any black to pick up from here. You've got 2 options. If you're going to do what I'm doing, which is I will be weaving in all my ends, I'm going to add another black here, even though I already have black connected to my work. But I left my string off here. So your options are to carry the string over. A lot of people do this, and then your blanket won't look as reversible. Nothing's wrong with it though. So a lot of people will carry it over and just pick it up. I've also seen people carry it under their stitches and stitch over it, which I will do from time to time, but I tend not to do that with black because black is very hard to stitch over. So for me, for the cleanest look that I want, I'm just gonna throw in another little ball of black. I think half of tapestry crochet for me is just making little balls of yarn. That's what it feels like, at least. Hi Cassie, good to see you. So writing is fun. What are you getting up to this weekend? I have no plans. I love talking to people about their plans because maybe they are doing something cool and give me ideas. We have no plans except for running some errands. Oh, that's a lie. That's not true. I'm actually meeting my son's girlfriend. So actually I have big plans. And then we're running some errands and running out to my in-laws' house this weekend to drop some stuff off for them. Hey Cassie, are you working on anything tonight? Are you crocheting while you're here, or just going through? Oh my gosh, thank you, Cassie. Yeah, so I'm always curious about when people join in, if they're working on projects or anything, or just watching. Writing is fun says, I'm going to a choir contest tomorrow. I'll be in a fancy, uncomfortable dress with equally uncomfortable pearls. My goodness. And you like... are you in choir? I assume you're in choir if you're dressing up for it. I wish I had a singing talent. My daughter has an amazing voice too, and she was in choir. And actually my son was in choir too. So I was not blessed with the singing voice, unfortunately. Cassie is finishing up a ripple blanket with only 8 more rows to go. Oh, I know you are excited. Nothing is better than being on the last few rows of something. I know when I have, even on some of these bigger projects I have where some of the rounds, because I do a lot of crochet in the round, some of the rounds might take me an hour and a half. But once I get to like the last 20 of them, I become super focused on only that. It's the only thing I want to crochet. I'll just crochet, crochet, crochet until that one's done. Because I just love finishing a project so much, especially a blanket. There is no bigger dopamine hit than finishing a blanket. Well, okay, so you're going to be doing 3 songs. What songs are you singing? And also, what, I'm going to use the wrong word here, but what position are you in choir? Or what, I don't know how that is, but I know like alto, soprano, those types of things. What are you? What do you sing? Or maybe it's called your range. I don't remember what it's called. Okay, so we've got 15. I got to do 15 black. Cassie, do you have you done tapestry crochet before, which is what I'm working on? I never know what people's experience is, but have you done tapestry before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and you know what? I can see I've got a lot of newer people in here too, so let me go over. I hate to keep just talking about this over and over, but I want to make sure people are aware that I did write a tapestry pattern. We will be doing this one live starting May 1st, Friday, May 1st. I go live weeknights at 6:30 Mountain Time. This pattern is available for free. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile. You can download the written and graph version for free there. If you're on YouTube, go to my posts. I made a post where you can also, there's a link for each of those patterns. If you download that, I will also be doing it live. So hollering out the numbers and the color changes as we go. So whichever way is best for you, there should be a solution. So if you want a free pattern, you haven't tried tapestry before and wanted to give it a shot, you totally should. Yes, and you love them. Yes, I also love tapestry too. All right, writing is fun, is performing in choir. Nothing gonna stumble my feet and knocked him in railway train. I'm currently a soprano. You were an alto and have sung tenor, so you have huge range, it sounds like. That's amazing. Black 15. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 2 more. Okay, and then, oh, let me show you another thing since this is about to happen. So I have to go 2 stitches past where I ended last time. So what I'm going to do with my white yarn, since it's white, is I'm just going to carry it under those 2 black stitches. And this is going to eliminate, again, because I'm trying to go for reversible. This is going to eliminate some of the, it's going to eliminate some of the strings that kind of run across. So most people are not going to see those or care about those. So do with that what you will. As I'm being really detailed about this, you don't have to be. So don't anyone feel pressured to do that. All right, so I have to do 10 white and 10 green. So what I'm going to do real quick is just make sure that I have 10 white spaces left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, perfect. My count is still on. That's one thing I love about tapestry is you know if your count is off if you get to the end of the row. Whoops, I gotta finish that stitch. You know your count is off if you get to the end of the row and you've got too many or too few stitches. So usually you can catch your mistakes usually within a round. So, writing, what kind of music do you listen to? And for those of you who haven't been in here for very long, I am streaming on YouTube and TikTok together. So I'm sorry for having 2 separate conversations. I don't know why I was counting that. I know that was right. So as I'm working on these, my balls of yarn that I'm working on are in these little baskets. I've got 3 baskets going on now. And typically I'll have 4 to 5 balls of yarn in each basket. But right now I'm just now starting to add additional colors into this blanket. For the last couple days, it's pretty much just been the green border and the white background. So as soon as I get to the end of this, I'll flip it around and be able to show you what this looks like. Again, this is a Yoshi from Mario, and I'm working this blanket the long way. So what would typically be your height of your blanket for me is the width, because the picture that I designed is on its side. So all right, I'm getting ready to switch, and I want to show you guys what I do, because look, I've got all these strings of yarn all attached off the edge of my blanket, but I need to flip this around. So typically what I'll do is start by, because I'm doing a half double crochet, I do a chain 2 at the end before I turn. Some people like to do stacked half double crochet. I'm just an old-fashioned chain 2 and turn type of person. I'm not worried about super straight edges. So in whatever way you would normally turn your work, right before you turn it, I just pull out a longer loop, so that as you're turning things, it might pull on some of these baskets. So I'm gonna carefully just pick up my work here. And I have learned the hard way to just do this slowly and carefully. Oops, I've got strings coming under here. All right, so I got it turned. I'm gonna get everything facing the right way. So the baskets that are holding the yarn that I worked on, which was just this end was what I was working on, are now on this side. And all of the yarn coming out of those baskets are running over top. So I start from the left to the right, just like this. And I pick up each basket and move them just like that. And that actually keeps everything nice and lined up, and it keeps it from tangling as much as possible. It's impossible to never tangle. All right, writing is fun. Listens to indie folk in general, some pop, heavy on musical theater, and sprinkle in some jazz and classical music. Very cool. I was into oldies music and oldies back when that meant like the 50s and 60s. Now I don't know, maybe oldies music includes what I was listening to when I was your age. But I got really big into oldies music for a while. You know what I like about older music and classical? I mean, honestly, jazz, like I like clean music. It's not that I'm like judgmental on music, but I like, because I listen to music almost all day. I like to have music on that is soothing to my soul and not riling me up all the time. I definitely have learned I can't listen to the kind of music I love to listen to. I can't listen to it all the time. It just riles me up too much. So, oh goodness, it's already 7:12. You know what? Time really flies when 15 minutes of your time gets cut up. So I am getting ready to take off, guys, at normal time. So I will not be back tomorrow or Sunday. Those are going to be my days off from this. I will be back Monday night. I wanted to show you this real quick. So here's where I just started the little orange. This is the bottom of his shoe. So I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more orange up here. And so the orange string that I have hanging off here, I'm going to have to bring it all the way over here. So I'll show you guys that when I work on this on Monday. But I'll just keep on working on this. That way we can get some questions answered about tapestry before we go live together on May 1st at 6:30 p.m. Overgrown Garden and Rises the Moon are two of my favorite calm songs. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm actually going to go listen to those, and I will see you on Monday. So thanks guys for joining. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Overgrown Garden and Rises the Moon.